He's someone that can distribute. He's someone that can score as well, which we saw in the first week.
And for Pittsburgh, so much talent. This guy needs no introduction. The great Albert Dequa, one of the all-time greats in this league.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't watched the USL before, Dequa's a name that everybody else understands already. So he's a big, strong, powerful forward, and especially the way that Pittsburgh likes to play on the road. Look for him to be causing the center backs a lot of problems tonight. So he's a player that the Rowdies defense is going to need to be well aware of throughout the entire course of the game, because he can pop up anywhere and score a goal.
Capacity crowd expected tonight at Al Lang Stadium. Big expectations for the Rowdies in 2026. Thanks for watching our pre-match show brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union. It's Rowdies and Riverhounds, and it's next.
Babe, are we out of paper towels?
I think so. And maybe a new toy for Sunny?
Already in my cart. Ooh, it's the newest viral tumbler.
I mean, we're getting instant cash back, so go for it.
Suncoast Cashback Plus gives you up to 20% back combined with your Suncoast Credit Union checking or savings account. From everyday purchases, dining out, or buying gift cards, you'll get cash back on the spot. Get started at suncoast.com/morecash.
That must be our new 500 times the cash scratch-off. What a massive multiplier.
It's like I always say, go big or go bigger.
And it'll help us do huge things for education.
Donut?
I'll take 500.
I'll get the multiplier.
Times the cash scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Your love of driving started early. As you zoomed down your imaginary highway, someone was always there to protect you, to make sure you're still covered. Kemper Auto knows your journey and will help you along the way. Affordable, personalized auto insurance you can count on. Get a quote today.
When we see you, we see ourselves. So the care you receive is exactly the kind of care we would want.
Great news. You're gonna be fine. You're all good.
Orlando Health, we make it personal.
Just moments away from kick. The Riverhounds and Rowdies trot out onto the field as Tampa Bay gets set to begin 2026. And the friendly confines of Al Lang Stadium, capacity crowd full of green and gold in the seats tonight. Our starting lineups. These teams come in hungry for this matchup. Riverhounds and Rowdies got a really nice rivalry going. We talked about the number 9, Albert Dequa. He is so dynamic, but Griffin and Bassett, those two midfielders, are really special, Jeff.
Those are the two that are going to try to patrol that middle of the field for them, but also two numbers to look out for, 23 and 3, Vactor and Barnes. They're going to want to get themselves forward in this new look Pittsburgh offense. They're going to want to bomb themselves forward, so be aware of those guys getting into the attack and also applying that extra pressure when the Rowdies have the ball in their defensive half.
So many storylines for these Rowdies. If you're watching them for the first time tonight, basically a completely new team, new faces across the board, and that's the case with the 11 here. One guy, Lewis Hilton, a guy we're always talking about, the longest standing Rowdy on the roster, but two others, Pedro Dolabella and Max Schneider, two others, Jeff, that I know you've really penciled and circled.
Yeah, well, Dolabella is an interesting player for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. He can play a multitude of different positions. He can play up top, which he's going to be playing tonight. He can play in the midfield. He could also play a little bit of center back. So a very versatile player that I think that Rowdies fans are going to really enjoy. And then we talk about a player like Micheletto. You know, he slots into that midfield spot. He's going to be the guy that's connecting that front line to that midfield gap. But for me, you already spoke on Hilton, and we'll speak a little bit on Schneider as well. These are two defensive midfielders whose role is going to be so important because the way that the Rowdies like to press forward this year, they're going to need to patrol that middle, hold that spot, and make sure that they're keeping everything organized and keeping everything in front of them and not letting Pittsburgh have joy in the middle of the field.
A year of new players, new banners also. Ralph's Mob, Skyway Casuals, always providing the effects and the friendly atmosphere here at Al Lang. The pitch is absolutely pristine, 70 degrees. And Jeff, I know you've played this game, you've been around it almost your entire life. This is a pretty special environment here tonight.
I mean, you really cannot ask for a better night here at Al Lang Stadium. When you talk about the weather's perfect. The pitch is in great shape. The crowd here is getting fired up. We got everybody behind the back getting rowdy a little bit, no pun intended. Should be a really fun night here, and two teams that really want to get this win, and also two teams that are trying to make their mark here in the Eastern Conference earlier in the season.
So Tampa Bay will wear the home whites tonight. Pittsburgh in the gold, and the coaching matchup also stellar as well on both sides. Dominic Casciato for Tampa Bay in his second season. Just a completely different outlook than what he was given last year. This is his team. He has chosen each and every player. This
is his team, and it's also been fun to watch them during the course of preseason, how he's been able to bring this team together, because one of the biggest things that people are going to need to focus on for this year, especially with a team that has so many new players on the field, is something that how is their cohesion during the course of the game, and especially as it grows, continue the course of the season. And that's something that Dominic Casciato has done just a phenomenal job with.
There's Rob Vincent. So he takes the helm, had the interim tag removed, rightfully so, after leading this team to the USL Championship, replacing the great Bob Lilly last October. This crowd is ready to go. We're ready to go. And hope you are as well. Sit back, enjoy.
One of the things as well with the way that Pittsburgh's been able to change their lineup, especially when you're talking about the coaching and just the style of play, look for this group to be a little bit more attacking than we're used to seeing. They made their way through the playoffs last year by playing extremely defensive, but now this is a new look Pittsburgh team where they're going to be a little bit more aggressive. You got a player like Deco at top who we talked about, so look for them to be a little bit more aggressive than we're used to seeing this Riverhounds team.
Tampa Bay moves from left to right. We're underway. Rowdies getting 3 points in that opener a couple weeks ago. Fresh legs tonight. It was a hard-fought 1-0 win over Birmingham. Tampa Bay really controlled the pace of play that night, and they are eager to make their home debut. Ciserone, Russell Ciserone, a player we're going to be talking a lot about for the next few hours, working in the corner. Lewis Hilton puts it in motion, and it's right in the breadbasket of Nico Campuzano, one of the great goalkeepers in this league, the USL saves leader last season with 84.
That's what the Rowdies want to do. They want to get the ball out wide. They want to try to spring it back in the middle and put the ball into the box where there's hopefully numbers. It's a very aggressive team. They really value the touches that they're able to get inside the box. It's a good ball in by Hilton, just unfortunately not many runners. As you said, Campuzano doing a great job just covering that space in between and gathering up for the goalkeeper.
Injury report brought to you by Orlando Health tonight. Players for the Rowdies, Vivi and Leland Archer. He's going to be a key guy in that back line for Tampa Bay, but may be out just a week or so. Now the Riverhounds send it down. Perrin Barnes in the vicinity. Let's also take a look at our keys to the match, brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union. Jeff, what have you got?
Well, for the Rowdies, they need to capitalize on what they've been able to do so far this season. They need to be able to be a little bit more aggressive, kind of thrive off of this crowd here. You hear the crowd, you hear the energy. Can they capitalize on this energy, and can they put the ball into the back of the net a little bit more than they were able to against Birmingham? And on the Pittsburgh side of things, can they sustain their attack? Can they be a little bit more aggressive than they were last season? They have been giving up goals, which is something that Pittsburgh is not used to doing, but they've often been putting the ball into the back of the net. So it's a new look. Are they going to be able to continue that front foot, being on that front foot offensively, but also on the defensive side of the ball? Are they going to be able to stay organized and keep the Rowdies off the scoreboard?
Campuzano, another outlet here for the Hounds. This is the third straight road game that Pittsburgh has played. So how about starting your schedule with the first 3 on the road? Rowdies know what that is like. They did that with the several road games in a row last season. Do you expect that to be a factor tonight, Jeff?
It should be. I mean, these are professionals, and traveling is part of the game, but especially anytime you start the season like that, the road games start to wear on you a little bit. I'm sure that they're using it as a bit of a rally cry, but anytime that you're dealing with this type of travel, and especially a team like Tampa who's getting their home opener in the 3rd week of the season, it's something that you should definitely be able to take advantage of if you're the Rowdies.
Brian Schaefer touches it back to Jamali Wade, Tampa Bay keeper. Controlled now by Pittsburgh. Got it right side, and this will be tapped out. Should be a corner kick first of the game here for the Riverhounds, as Sam Bassett will head over to the corner to send it in.
It's good pressing there from the Pittsburgh offense. They're putting that defensive side for the Rowdies. Anytime there's a back ball, they're stepping hard when their backs are turned and the Rowdies are facing their own goal, but just need to be a little bit better with that clearance. It's a bit of a lazy clearance there to the center of the park. Deke was able to gather that ball up and have a lot of space in front of him.
So our first Colony Grill corner kick on tap here in the 5th minute. Bassett, this one a low line drive. Set right back out. We'll have another crack at it. The Rowdies this time will send it to that wing. Marco Micheletto goes over there before he goes down, and it'll be Tampa Bay throwing. So Micheletto again came off the bench in the opener, gets the start here tonight. Sebastian Cruz.
It's a good job by the center back Schaefer there. That's something that you have to do on Dequo. Don't let him gather the ball easily like that. Good job from the center back stepping out from his line, making sure that he has making sure he's on the back of number 9.
Brian Schaefer, the USF product, good touch, and then sending it forward. Here comes Dion Akoff. Akoff with a cross. Rowdies trying to get ahead on it. That's a good sequence. Goes over the crossbar, but the fans liking the early hustle.
That's good build-up play that starts in their own side of the field. Akoff, somebody that your Rowdies fans are going to need to get used to. He likes to get the ball forward, and he puts dangerous balls into the box. Unfortunately, only a couple options. Opted for the far post. Just a little bit too high there for Ciserone, but great build-up play. That's what you want to see from the Rowdies. When Pittsburgh Riverhounds are pressing like that, can they 1-2? Can they get around him? Little triangles, finding that through ball to the outside runner. Good build-up play.
Capozano here with the goal kick. I know Tampa Bay had the impressive opener, Jeff, but some of those exhibitions also against MLS sides, the Rowdies certainly held their own.
What I like about this Rowdies group is they're going to play their style and how they want to play against anybody that they're playing against. We saw that versus the MLS sides. Granted, it was only preseason, but anytime you're able to step on the field with teams like that from the MLS side, you're able to play the way, practice the style that you want to play throughout the course of the season against a team of that caliber. They've spent their preseason doing a lot of that, which is why you see it come together here early in the season.
Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL Championship, from the grassroots to the pros. They're every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, player's choice. Lewis Hilton handling it in the midfield for Tampa Bay. Just underway. On a gorgeous night here at Al Lang Stadium. Thrilled to have you with us on Tampa Bay's 44 and also ESPN+. Oh, far side. There you saw some big-time contact there. Also, our audience tonight from Sportsnet Pittsburgh tuning in from around the country. We welcome you as well. And watch this shot, Jeff. That will welcome you to USL Championship.
Yeah, Cicerone, he's a former hockey player, which is a fun fact, so I think he might be used to it. He might have been looking for some boards there to support him, but it's a good move there. He's able to get that turn, use his speed a little bit, forcing Pittsburgh into that foul. Now we have a set piece in a dangerous spot.
So 9th minute, and Micheletto on top of it here for the Rowdies.
Something that the Rowdies really focused on in this offseason was getting bigger, getting more size. So on these set pieces, they have a lot of players that are over 6 foot, which is something a little bit different than we've seen in the past.
Micheletto tees it up right into the shaker. This one sent on from distance. Hilton gets another strike, and if anybody can do that, it is Lewis Hilton.
Yeah, he hits those balls on a tee. You got to give Pittsburgh's defense credit there. It was a good ball in from out wide. Good service into the box, but Pittsburgh's defense standing tall, able to win that ball here, and then once again closing that space in between the shooter and where the shot is coming from. So doing a good job getting their body in front of the ball and winning those clearances. Credit the Pittsburgh defense, but another good opportunity there for the Rowdies.
Now it's Hilton. Injured so often last season. Rowdies thrilled to have him healthy and back on this pitch. He is the engine of this franchise. Hamilton here will hand it off. Akoff. Looks like he'll toss it in here. Rowdies controlling the possession here in the 10th minute.
I was just about to say, this is what you want to see from this Rowdies group. They get that set piece, they clear the lines, Pittsburgh's able to clear the lines, but they gather that ball up again, and then it's just a sustained possession. And right on cue, announcer's curse, ball turns over.
Little tie up there, official right there to blow the whistle. And Riverhounds will possess here.
Good job there by Schneider, even drawing that foul, because it was a good ball in from Pittsburgh, breaking the lines. Once he saw that line was broken, easy foul, getting numbers back behind the ball.
So the press right now effective. Officials let him play on. Nicoletto now in the middle of the field, and the Rowdies just wrestle that ball right back. Crowd loving what they're seeing so far from this 2026 edition of the Rowdies. Tampa Bay trying to get it inside the box. Little nutmeg action. And we play on. It gets just over the end line there, and Pittsburgh will have it, but certainly entertaining here in the 11th.
And that starts with that step from the outside back Ostrom. Something that the Rowdies want to do this year is press the ball when the ball turns over, and a lot of that has to come from your wing backs. Ostrom doing a great job stepping high. Ciserone does the initial work, but once that ball turns over, there's 2v1 there, so Ciserone gets that opportunity to drive in, but once again, you have to give Pittsburgh's defense credit right now. A lot of bending, but no breaking so far early in this one.
Rowdies once again win it in the center circle. Akoff now shifting to his right, gets it upfield. Had a good conversation yesterday with Dominic Casciato, the Tampa Bay Rowdies head coach. Actually, we were in his office on Thursday, Jeff, and I remember asking him, what's the one thing you hope this team has? He says, Drew, this team is hungry, and they're showing that right now. Dolabella spreading it wide. This one tapped out. Tampa Bay will have it.
I like Dolabella coming wide like that and connecting, but I'd like to see him a little bit more into the box. Can we get him a little bit more central? He's a big player. Once that ball is wide, can somebody else do that work with the connecting and then have Pedro open there in the box so that they can get that cross into a bigger target? But again, it's good build-up play here from the Rowdies.
So now it's Brian Schaefer to throw it in for Tampa Bay. Vector. Capuzano will handle it for Pittsburgh. Riverhounds have not been able to get comfortable yet on this away pitch. Rowdies with their press extremely effective here early on. Now Pittsburgh can get some numbers upfield. Max Vieira, the midfielder, getting the start tonight. Now it's the Frenchman, Vector. Switch the point of attack now. They'll attack from the right side. Defending USL champions, the Riverhounds. They did not allow a goal in the entire postseason last year. Just an incredible defensive display to take the cup. Some of those guys have moved on, like goalkeeper Eric Dick and defender Sean Suber. But with Griffin and Mertz in the midfield, also Albert Dikwa back, Pittsburgh thinks that they're in good hands.
Well, we just saw there a little bit good build-up play from this Pittsburgh offense. The first bit of sustained possession that we've seen. That's been 2 or 3 times now that the center backs for the Rowdies have a little bit of confusion, maybe a little bit difficult to clear in the ball. Just something to keep an eye on.
This one sent, trying to get it to the far post. And it sails over everybody. The Rowdies will have a goal kick. Sam Bassett right there had a goal. His last outing for the Riverhounds. Tampa Bay now brings it down. Again, you mentioned the size, Jeff. Some of the Tampa Bay players just imposing figures like Dolabella. He has got to be at least 6'5".
That was definitely a point of emphasis in the offseason, and you see it just on the field right now. You have players across the board for the Rowdies where last year they felt like they were lacking size, and this year they made an emphasis on making sure that they're quality for set pieces because of the size that they're able to bring in.
Tampa Bay now working from the far side. Riverhounds will throw it in quickly here. Perrin Barnes, the defender. Danny Griffin now. And Tampa Bay not letting Pittsburgh get into that final third. Again, tremendous defense. Charles All also involved, the midfielder, and Pittsburgh now will just possess, take their time here. Connect some dots. Middle of the field, good place to go. Danny Griffin spreads it. Best sequence here for the Riverhounds, trying to get the cross in. Lewis Hilton couldn't clear it for the Rowdies.
Rowdies a bit lucky there that didn't turn into a more dangerous opportunity for Pittsburgh. It starts with all the winger out wide for Pittsburgh, who's a dynamic player. Just that 1-2 touch, easily to get around the midfield. Good recovery defending there from the Rowdies, but I like to see it just a little bit more tougher through that midfield so they're not able to play that 1-2 quick pass and then loop it around for the cross into the box.
Tonight's broadcast brought to you by Suncoast Credit Union. More perks, less fees. Join Suncoast today. So excited you're with us here on Tampa Bay's 44, ESPN Plus, and also on a Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Drew Felios, Jeff Agnella, also Deandra Liu, third member of our on-air crew. She'll be joining us a little bit later. Interviews down on the field. We'll have those throughout the season for you. Riverhounds now spreading it right. Rowdies scrambling frantically to get back. Here's Vector. Starting to find some cohesion there are the Hounds. And now open, little space to work with for Barnes. Barnes back to the middle. Tried to set up the give and go, but the Rowdies wouldn't let it happen. And now Tampa Bay has it once more. This is the number 10, Ciserone.
Schaefer, the center back for Tampa Bay, is playing extremely well right now. 2 or 3 opportunities in the air that he's been able to put away, and then a little bit of recovery defending as well from the midfield, but he's there to step up, make sure that he's forcing the Pittsburgh team back.
Yeah, Brian Schaefer, University of South Florida product. Jeff, I know you know his game really well.
He's been very solid tonight, especially against a forward like Decoy. You need a player like Schaefer, his size, his physicality. But again, doing a good job as well, filling in those spaces, just covering for his teammates, making sure that nobody's able to get a good look on net.
Here's Brian Schaefer. Rowdies able to keep it. Nicoletto couldn't get to it. Tampa Bay trying to keep possession. Lewis Hilton again winning that 50-50 ball. He does that so well. Tampa Bay now on the turn. Little give go for the Rowdies side. Top of the 18. And the mad scramble for it. The Riverhounds and Rowdies. This is what makes this rivalry. Sequences just like that.
And it really starts with Hilton. He does such a good job there. And that's what the Tampa Bay Rowdies need tonight. They need to defend the middle of the field because of the way that Pittsburgh likes to play. They want to get the ball through the middle of the field. They want to break those lines and then spray it out wide. So it's a good job there, not preventing that counterattack and then also keeping the ball in their possession.
Boy, Ralph's mob right now is absolutely cranking over there. You know the Rowdies love to attack this goal when their home group, Jeff, is right above it. It creates an incredible atmosphere, especially on set pieces.
Absolutely. They're getting loud. They're getting trying to get themselves in the head of the Pittsburgh defenders, see if the Rowdies can take advantage of it.
This one thrown right at the top of that 6-yard box. Tampa Bay gets it right back. Perrin Barnes now. Here's Akoff, winding up, floating it in front of goal. And a good job climbing the ladder by Nico Campuzano and bringing it home. That's
a great bit of goalkeeping. He's able to elevate over everybody. It's a good ball in here from Akoff. He's way off of his line here, top of the 6. Great goalkeeping. You like to see Dolabella, if he can, try to make that run a little bit more inside. But on this one, you have to give the goalkeeper credit. Those are those situations though where I talked about. Can the Rowdies get a couple more numbers into the box? They're getting good looks. The balls are getting out wide. Time to put a good cross in. Can they get a couple more numbers in there? Maybe a late midfield runner, just to make it a little bit tougher for this Pittsburgh center backs.
Rowdies now will have possession once more. 21st minute. Sun is completely going down. Crowd is really settled in here.
Crowd's filling up too. People keep coming.
Deon Akoff. Several players have joined this Tampa Bay Rowdies squad that did play for Coach Dominic Casciato at Union Omaha, USL League One.
We talked about the familiarity that he has with a lot of these players, and whether it's playing with them before, playing against them before, even speaking up and down the roster, they have a tremendous amount of respect for the head coach. It was a big part of the reason that they wanted to join the team.
So Jamali Waite hands it right back to his back line. Well, eFootball is here. You can live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is here to play and free. Download now. Tampa Bay with a little give and go. Just a hair away, Jeff. Exactly the opportunity you were looking for moments ago.
What I want people to focus on, especially on this play, is this is what the Rowdies want to do. Ostrom presses high. Once Ciserone releases and applies that pressure, and that's where Ostrom steps in, and that's when they're able to win that ball back and play quickly on that counter-attacking opportunity. So the ball turns over, and then they attack quickly. So keep an eye on these forwards on this front line. When they decide to press, then the rest of the team, it's their trigger to go with them, and then that ball turns over, and that's where you see the 1-2 touch passes. A little bit cleaner in the box, you get an opportunity on goal, but that's what they're looking to do defensively, especially when Pittsburgh has the ball in their own defensive half.
So now it's Hilton. Leaving it for Akoff. Deon Akoff, going to be fun watching him play throughout the year. Sebastian Cruz, a little bit of pivot there. Sebastian Cruz, one of those gritty, gutty players on the pitch for Tampa Bay. Kind of in the role that Ollie Bassett was in maybe last year. A little bit similar to their games, Jeff, just a bit.
Yeah, he likes to step himself high, and he's one of those players where once he's on the ball, he likes to drive towards the goal, but also when he's off the ball, look for him to apply that type of pressure. Just constantly applying pressure to this back line.
Akoff. Oh, Aaron passed that time. Sebastian Cruz not expecting it.
Yeah, that's when you have to connect on.
Absolutely do. Perrin Barnes. Keeps it across that touchline. Now Barnes attacking the end line. He'll loft one in the air. Oh, great job getting to it by the Rowdies. Dangerous spot, though. Inside the box, Tampa Bay trying to crowd it with bodies. Lots of traffic now. And the Rowdies will clear it.
It's a good job there by the center back Dos Santos coming across and winning that ball, but we talked about how they need to connect those types of passes. That opportunity comes off of a misconnection there in the midfield with Akoff stepping high, the outside back stepping high, and that's how Pittsburgh's able to get those opportunities.
Pedro Dolabella doesn't like that call.
Just a little bit too handsy for the referee. Might have been easy to let that one go, but when you see the arms flailing a little bit, you leave it up to the ref.
This Dolabella, though, really an interesting player. He's won everywhere he's been. In college at Marshall, they won the College Cup. Then he goes to Union Omaha. They won the League One title. Obviously, he is a winner.
Scored the game winner in the Cultural Cup, the new preseason tournament that the Rowdies are doing with Sarasota. But also, I think what makes him so dynamic is he could play so many different positions. Throughout the course of the season, you'll see him as a 9, you'll see him as a center mid. Wouldn't surprise me at some point you see him slide in as a center back. Very versatile player.
Jeff, you mentioned coming into this match, you expected Pittsburgh to play up a lot more than what they were conventionally used to. Let's watch this sequence here. Parent Barnes sending it back. Do you think they've lived up to that up to this point in the match?
I think that the Rowdies have done a good job of making Pittsburgh play a lot more defensively than they want to, but you do see how quickly Pittsburgh can counterattack. 1-2 touch, and then they're in. Then they're getting the ball wide. So it's a little bit more offensive when the ball turns over. They're a little bit more dynamic. But I do think defensively they're having to play a little bit more in a shell than we've been used to seeing because the Rowdies are doing a good job of that sustained possession.
Yeah, that is their DNA. Tremendous defense. The Riverhounds. This year, though, we expected that goal count to certainly be up after winning the championship.
This is a Pittsburgh team that they just want to frustrate you. You know, even something like this where they're just moving the ball 1-2 touches in possession, moving the ball, making the Rowdies move from side to side. You have to be very disciplined as a team defensively to do the Tampa Bay Rowdies when the team is doing this, because they could just be 1-2 touch, you fall asleep a little bit, then it's a ball over the top.
There's that ball. Rowdies chasing after it. It'll go out of bounds. The official mortgage partner of the Rowdies is Union Home Mortgage. Your partner from first homes to refinance. Get started with Union Home Mortgage today and visit uhm.com to learn more. So Pittsburgh taking some air out of it here in the 28th minute. Rowdies will win it back once more. Has had a few chances, not many in this first half. They have controlled the possession, though, mostly. Akoff right side, holds it up.
Looked like just a bit of a frustration foul there from Dolabella. Has to be just a little bit careful now. That's two fouls with the hands. Referee probably letting him know that it needs to be careful with that one. Give Pittsburgh credit. I thought that the Rowdies really were taking control of this game. They had a lot of sustained possession, but they weathered the storm a little bit. And now Pittsburgh doing a good job making the Rowdies chase. You can tell that they're getting a little bit frustrated not being on the ball.
Certainly what you have to do when you're on the road in an environment just like this. Players across the league know what it takes to win in this stadium. It is not easy. Now this is a good sequence here for the Hounds. Sam Bassett again, the 19. He is such an impressive player.
Just very active, always trying to find the open spaces. Never stops moving, wants the ball at his feet, wants to be able to create.
Bradley Sample with the touch that time. He has a goal on the year also for these Hounds. This is Bassett again, caught in traffic a bit. Rowdies able to get it back. Tampa Bay now numbers forward, and here is Dolabella. Cruz tried to leave it just in front. Dolabella just a bit too far ahead for the big man that time.
Again, I like the idea, but I'd like to see Villa, if he can, get himself a little bit more central. Let one of these midfielders do the job connecting so that you can stretch that defense just a little bit more. Being such a big target, we need him in the box, not necessarily out wide trying to connect these passes.
It's kind of like basketball. You need the big man to get around the basket, don't you?
You need the big man, and then it's also just creates a numbers game, right? So at that point, you know, if you're able to get one more into the box, there's 3 Pittsburgh defenders, and you have a better 3-on-3 look as opposed to always being down a man when you're trying to get those crosses in.
So as we mentioned, tremendous atmosphere tonight here at Al Lang Stadium. Still waiting for our first goal here in the 31st minute as we are in a hydration break. And I want to take a moment to introduce everybody to the third member of our on-air crew. Deandra Liu joins us. Hello, Deandra.
Hey, Drew. Jamali Waite is in his first season here as the Rowdies' new goalkeeper, and he's already off to a pretty busy start. Tomorrow he'll fly out to join the Jamaican national team with a chance to help his home country qualify for the World Cup. And Jamali told me that this is truly a full circle moment for him. He remembers being a little kid sitting in front of the TV with his entire family watching those World Cup matches. And I had a chance to catch up with Rowdies goalkeeper coach Stuart Dobson, who told me that they're really going to miss having him, but they are so excited for him to have this opportunity. Now, Jamali said, as much as he's looking forward to representing his country, first order of business is helping the Rowdies get their first win at home tonight. I'll send it back to you.
Great stuff, Deandra. If you're a local sports fan, you know Deandra from covering the Tampa Bay Lightning. Jeff, we're thrilled to have her aboard this year, and Jamali Waite, the Rowdies are thrilled to have him as their keeper moving forward.
And he's a person that understands what it takes to step into a new team as well. We had him on a sit down this week, just getting to know him a little bit, his leadership ability, his confidence in the goal, and just really just his positive outlook on life and the way that he's able to deal with this position. He's somebody that brings a real veteran presence to the goalkeeper spot, and also the guy can make saves, right? You don't make the Jamaican national team if you can't make saves. So a good leader, shot stopper, and someone that's going to be a little bit busy here over the next 7 days.
So players ready to reset once more. You can watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Lexington takes on Brooklyn FC Wednesday, March 25th at 7 Eastern. Detroit City FC takes on Charleston Battery March 28th at 4 p.m. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. So we play on. Akoff gets a head on it for the Rowdies. Tampa Bay, if you've just joined us, controlling possession. Last 5 minutes been a little bumpy, but the Rowdies looking to get back on track here in front of the home crowd. Akoff gets to it, and the whistle blown. He thought that he was fouled, but I don't think this is going to go the Rowdies' way.
Just a little bit of a foot tangled up there. I think as Akoff is chasing the ball, he ends up tripping the ankle of the Pittsburgh defender. Forgetting to look at it here. It's this big touch here, and then just the feet get tangled. Barnes doing a good job defensively, though. Akoff is a player with a lot of speed. He's able to get himself around most outside backs in this league, but Barnes doing a good job getting his body out in front.
Campuzano places it down. Well, this crowd just waiting for something really good to happen for the Rowdies. Pittsburgh will be at Highmark Stadium for the first time on Wednesday for U.S. Open Cup play. Well, they cannot wait for that game this past week, postponed because of weather concern. Pittsburgh soon going to be on their home pitch as well. Tampa Bay once again wants to get those wheels turning. Lots of open space for Akoff. Deon Akoff, little stutter step, trying to get to the end line. Nicely done, and a corner on the way for Tampa Bay.
You can see the emphasis for this Tampa Bay Rowdies group of getting Akoff involved in the attack. A lot of speed, a lot of ability to get himself around, and a much better job on this one, getting Rowdies players inside of the box. You pick your head up. There's not as many yellow shirts. You're seeing some more white shirts crashing into the net. Now here's another opportunity, a set-piece opportunity where the Rowdies have been so dangerous.
So Charlie Ostrom will do the honors. Defender out of Richmond Beach, Washington. Another first-year player for the Rowdies, and another from Union Omaha. So another Colony Grill corner kick. And by the way, that Colony Grill pizza was just delicious in the pregame.
Always hits the spot. Always hits the spot.
So players shaken up right now for Pittsburgh. And that's Guillaume Vactor, the Frenchman, being tended to.
These are the moments, especially, this is the moments where, right before a set piece, injured player, can the Rowdies catch this Pittsburgh team sleeping a little bit?
So Charlie Ostrom now on for the corner kick. Saw Vactor, he leaves here momentarily for the Hounds, so Rowdies going to have a bit of an advantage. See if they can cash one in. Charlie had 10 assists last season, former University of Washington Husky, here with the in-swing. This one to the far post. Hilton in the neighborhood, and the scrum inside the 6-yard box. Oh, Rowdies, I think wanted a handball that time. Looked like what happened.
Yeah, it's a good ball into the box, into that far post. You can tell it's something that they designed off the practice field. Put that ball to the far post, try to head it back in and create a little bit of chaos as we get another look at it here. The hand was definitely extended, but I think it hits the body here. Souza for Pittsburgh, very lucky there, because anytime you have your hand out like that, especially in the box, any type of contact to the arm, that's going to be a penalty. But a bit fortunate the ball ends up hitting him, I think, towards the midsection as opposed to the arm. Always risky business putting your arms out like that, though, in the box.
Yeah, certainly. I like the aggressiveness right now for the Rowdies. They are all over Albert Dikwa. He has not gotten a sniff of it here in the first half, and he's a little shaken up.
Making life hard for the number 9, but I think the ref let him get that one a little bit. Hilton comes in, looks like he's using his body to win the ball back. Ref saw it a little bit differently, but that's what you need to do with a player like Dikwa. You can't let him have anything easy. He's such a big target, somebody who's able to really control the ball for Pittsburgh. Nothing easy in the middle of the field.
Now back to the drawing board here for the Hounds. Barnes, center of the pitch. There's the number 10, Charles Al. Danny Griffin one more time. Last time these two teams played, it was August 30th, 2025. Tampa Bay winning 2-1 in that match. Pittsburgh got the first goal. Rowdies got the next two with Hilton and Rubens Pacius getting on the score sheet on that night.
The crowd's really getting into this one. See if the Rowdies can get a little bit more possession, create themselves a little bit more dangerous opportunities, give them something to really cheer about.
Hounds able to win it one more time. Souza to Vactor. Good turn. This is all working at that center circle. Now spreading it right side. Reto Idrak. Grand Central Brewhouse, a family-friendly, pet-friendly, community-friendly, two-story brewery, taproom, and beer garden located in the heart of the Grand Central District. Grand Central Brewhouse featuring traditional lagers and ales brewed in-house and served directly from European serving tanks. Nice run this time from the Hounds. The Rowdies able to douse the flame, top of the box.
And that's where Pittsburgh can catch you. A little bit of possession in their defensive half. Long ball over the top. Schaefer does a good job coming across and winning it, but once he leaves that spot, Dikwa has space in front of him.
Rowdies pleading for a call. They don't get it this time. Crowd letting our officiating crew know as well. And then a call made right there. And I think that's what has the Rowdies a little frustrated right now. The ticky-tack fouls being called when the Rowdies do them, but not getting the benefit of the doubt on their side.
This ref has definitely had a couple calls against the Rowdies that could have gone either way. As we get another look at it here, I think the ref gets it right on that one.
Yeah,
Dolabella goes down pretty easily here. Not much. That's just what you do when you're a forward and a center back going at it. And then on the flip side, Akoff comes to the back of him, so I do think the ref got it right on that one, but I understand the Rowdies' frustration as well.
Rowdies again, just feel that press. Eventually going to cause some havoc as Hilton is able to win it back. And Lewis Hilton right now, he looks like a 23-year-old running around out there.
So steady in the middle of the field. Man of the match so far for the Rowdies. Just doing a great job patrolling the middle, trying to keep the team patient.
Perrin Barnes left side. Akoff trying to stay with him. And that will be called. Akoff may even get a card this time. It'll be our first yellow of the match.
And that's just an accumulation of fouls there. Akoff had about 5 or 6 of those similar looking fouls, whether it's just a trip up or a little bit tactical. Referee decides it's finally time to put him in the book.
Perrin Barnes. Vector. Rowdies were dominating possession about midway through the half, but Pittsburgh is certainly, I think, even the tide here. Ciserone. Couldn't get to it. Far side now. Here come the Hounds. Victor Souza with the touch. This will be a throw in here for the Hounds. Vieira will do the honors. Rowdies now will turn. Ciserone. Russell Ciserone put it right down that sideline. Eventually, Campuzano came over just in time. Official involved in the crossfire. And we'll place it down. He's not making a lot of friends tonight here at Al Lang, is he?
Not friends in white uniforms, I know that much. You're seeing a little bit of frustration from this Rowdies group, especially offensively. Early in the game, you know, it was a lot of sustained possession. If there's nothing on, put your foot on it, bring the ball back around. Now we're seeing a group that's a little bit more eager to get the ball forward.
Again, won by the Hounds. Bradley Sample on top of it. Pittsburgh once again just pulling things back. Very calculating here in the 44th minute. And they're doing a lot of chasing here at the moment. Toughest season to play soccer, Jeff, I imagine, is the season after you win a USL Championship Cup, when everybody is gunning for you and you got that target on your back.
Toughest, but also kind of the most fun. You know, anytime you're able to have a successful year, you know that teams are gunning for you. You know that you need to be ready to go every single time that somebody's out there, because everybody wants a shot at the champ. And you give this Pittsburgh group credit. They're coming off of a good win against a Loudoun team, coming on the road here, playing very composed, very calm.
Now it's Marco Micheletto trying to get involved. The Rowdies will turn and have some time and space here to play with. Over the top, looking for Cruz.
Just not on the same page there. Cruz wanted that ball a little bit more wide. Akoff drifts towards the goalkeeper, easy pickup. They got to do a bit of recovery defending.
Max Vieira. Coming towards the end of the first half here. Interesting to see how much extra time we'll have. Hounds now just outside the box. 4 minutes. 4 minutes extra time. This one driven into the box, immediately knocked out. And Hilton again just delivers a dime to Akoff. This is the first time you're watching the Rowdies in 2026. There are 20 new players on this roster. 12 of those new players suited up in the opener a couple weeks ago at Birmingham. So you can see them clearly still getting to know each other and mesh as we go along here early in the season.
And offensively is where it's going to take the most time, because that's where you need a little bit more rhythm. But defensively, they look very solid. They get that shutout versus Birmingham, and even tonight, keeping everything in front of them.
Oh, cheeky there by Micheletto. Dolabella gets airborne. Micheletto looks to attack. Nice ball, sent in, and score! What a goal!
Listen to this crowd. They're loving it right now. And it's Big Russell Ciserone off a beautiful ball from Micheletto, splitting the two defenders on Pittsburgh, and this really comes out of nothing. Micheletto picks that ball up off the turnover, drops it on a dime in between two Pittsburgh defenders. Big Russell Ciserone puts it into the back of the net, gives this crowd something to be fired up about.
So Russell Ciserone sets this crowd ablaze. First goal of the 2026 season. As good as it gets.
And you talk about timing, the timing of this goal, nearly perfect when you're talking about momentum. Pittsburgh was on top of the ball, controlling possession, and this is how quickly the Rowdies were able to strike. The ball turns over very quickly. And Marco Micheletto, what a beautiful ball that is. Pittsburgh allowing Ciserone to creep himself in between the two defenders. Whether it's miscommunication, one of those defenders has to pick him up. But a perfect outswinging ball right on top of the head, and he makes no mistake about it with the finish.
So Russell Ciserone, and he's the third highest scorer in Sac Republic history. Rowdies thrilled to have him aboard in 2026. So played for the former Rowdies coach Neil Collins, and now comes here to Al Lang and ready to do his thing. Still about a minute to work with here for both sides. Schneider ahead on it. Another 50-50 ball. Center circle. These players are scrapping like it is October right now. Danny Griffin. Victor Souza, not sure the Hounds are going to get an opportunity. As Akoff will watch this one head out of bounds. Tampa Bay will throw it in from deep in their half. It's great to smell those fumes for the first time this season. Those green and gold fireworks, Jeff, that go off here in the stands.
I had to get a picture of it. The first one of the year, the first smoke bomb of the year going off here for the Golasso. You talk about momentum and timing. What a big time goal that is from the Rowdies. And if you're Pittsburgh, you got to be scratching your head a little bit. You had possession, you had everything in front of you, and then just one turnover of the ball. Next thing you know, you're down 1-0 headed into the tunnels.
So Rowdies do break the ice for the first time at home this season. This crowd just loving it. What an environment tonight here at Al Lang Stadium. Well, let's send it down to the third member of our crew, Deandra Lou, who is with Coach Dominic Casciato.
Coach, you're up 1-0 at the end of the first half. What is the key to your team's success so far?
I think we need to settle a little bit down on the ball. We started to fix our pressure. Once we fixed our pressure, it looked a lot better, and obviously we were able to get the goal.
You knew that you were getting a tough opponent in Pittsburgh. Any adjustments besides that you want to see in the second half?
Yeah, again, I think we just need to stop them from playing central and do a little bit better on second balls. If we do that, we'll be fine.
Thank you.
Yeah,
all right, good stuff. Coach Casciato and the Rowdies head to the locker room with a 1-0 lead on opening night here at home for the Rowdies. 1-0 is your score. Halftime festivities from a festive downtown St. Pete coming up next.
Babe, are we out of paper towels?
I think so. And maybe a new toy for Sunny.
Already in my cart. Ooh, it's the newest viral tumbler.
I mean, we're getting instant cash back, so go for it. Suncoast Cashback Plus gives you up to 20% back combined with your Suncoast Credit Union checking or savings account. From everyday purchases, dining out, or buying gift cards, you'll get cash back on the spot. Get started at suncoast.com/morecash.
That must be our new 500 times the cash scratch off. What a massive multiplier.
It's like I always say, go big or go bigger.
And it'll help us do huge things for education.
Donut? I'll take 500.
I'll get the multiplier.
Times the cash scratch-offs from the Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Okay, someday you're gonna get your own room, I promise. Okay?
For the child you promised to give their own room. Let Union Home Mortgage be with you every step of the way and help you deliver on those promises. Union Home is here to help you through the challenges that go along with purchasing your first home, including options with little to no down payment. Go to UHM.com to get started today. Union Home Mortgage. Promises kept.
When we see you, we see ourselves. So the care you receive is exactly the kind of care we would want.
Great news. You're gonna be fine. You're all good.
Orlando Health. We make it personal.
Tremendous first half by both sides. The Rowdies come out of it with a 1-0 lead here at home for the first time in 2026. Tampa Bay looking pretty good, especially for this being a new bunch still trying to mesh together. The Rowdies have big plans here for the next year. And if you have plans to come on down to the stadium this season, this is one of the best places in the United States to watch a soccer match. Every single year, the franchise is tweaking, trying to make this a better fan experience. Our own Jeff Attinella has more from Al Lang.
Welcome to beautiful Al Lang Stadium, here on the water in St. Petersburg, Florida, the home of your 2026 Tampa Bay Rowdies. This year, we are very excited to announce that it's a lot more than fresh paint that you're going to see that had the upgrades for the stadium. Like most places in the downtown St. Pete area, Al Lang Stadium was deeply affected by the Hurricane Helene of 2024. So much so that we like to keep a constant reminder of just how high the water was and how much work had to be put in on our walls. While crews work day and night to get the stadium ready for 2025, we are excited to announce the different fan enhancements that we're bringing to the table in 2026. Done other days of low-resolution video boards at Al Lang Stadium, as we are installing a brand new system for the 2026 season so that it enhances the fan experience so you can get a better look at what's going on the field. We can't show you the inside just yet, but we've made improvements to the Publix midfield club so that when fans need to leave the game really quick to grab a drink, grab some food, the experience will be a much better one when you pop into the tent. As you can see, we're making improvements to the Tiki Hut, which has always been a fan favorite. And the elevator is operational again. In addition to the video board and the midfield tent, we're excited to announce that we've upgraded the VIP suite and the pregame fan activation zone, which should make for a better experience when you come check out the team this year. We're excited to see everybody out at Al Lang, and we hope you appreciate the upgrades as much as we do.
Match day 1, it's the season opener of the USL Championship.
No time like the present for these teams. And the Rowdies, they may be back. 1-0 over Pittsburgh. We'll be back with more halftime in just a moment.
Match day 1, it's the season opener of the USL Championship.
No time like the present for these teams to make a statement and begin the campaign on the right foot.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
Your love of driving started early. As you zoomed down your imaginary highway, someone was always there to protect you, to make sure you're still covered. Kemper Auto knows your journey and will help you along the way. Affordable, personalized auto insurance you can count on. Get a quote today.
It is halftime of the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for this week. A new era is underway at Louisville City following the exit of head coach Danny Cruz earlier in the week. Simon Bird was named interim head coach for the back-to-back Players' Shield winners. Bird worked with Cruz since joining Lou City staff in 2021. Monterey Bay has given its young roster core a veteran boost with the signing of midfielder Sebastian Lletget. 33 appearances for the U.S. men's national team during a successful pro career. Lletget subbed on during Monterey's Week 2 match against El Paso Locomotive. Well, the season is still young, but the hot starts are standing out already. How about Rubio Robin? 3 goals in 2 matches for El Paso. The Oakland Roots off to a 2-0 start under new head coach Ryan Martin. They had never done that in their previous 5 years since joining the championship. And goalkeepers Anthony Siaha of Hartford Athletic and Danny Vitiello of Sacramento Republic each kept clean sheets through the first 2 matches of the season. Spanish broadcasts are coming up soon on 2TN. Wednesday the 25th, Lexington SC hosts Brooklyn. Then Saturday the 28th, Detroit City hosts Charleston Battery. That's a look at the headlines for this week. Let's get you back to your match for the second half.
Thank you so much, Dan Lucas. And you look at the standings thus far. Again, the season just underway here. So a very young year. The Rowdies thrilled to be right now 5th with those 3 points. Louisville City atop the table. Not much changes with them. Pittsburgh also in the middle of that pack. They come in right now at number 6. Hartford, Detroit, and Charleston, of course, always in the mix when you look at USL and the East. As this graphic brought to you by Orlando Health. Much more to come. Jeff Atnella rejoins us. We'll get you ready for half number 2. Straight ahead, the Rowdies with a 1-0 lead.
Babe, are we out of paper towels?
I think so. And give you a new toy for Sunny.
Already in my cart. Ooh, it's the newest viral tumbler.
I mean, we're getting instant cash back, so go for it. Suncoast Cashback Plus gives you up to 20% back combined with your Suncoast Credit Union checking or savings account. From everyday purchases, dining out, or buying gift cards, you'll get cash back on the spot. Get started at suncoast.com/morecash.
When everything's on the line, real heroes rise to the occasion. Or die trying. We're firefighters. We're gonna find a way to get you out of here. We take the hits together.
We're on the same team.
I'm right here with you, no matter what.
I would never leave you hanging in the deep end.
This place is a way of giving you new family.
Fire Country, Sunday nights beginning at 8 on Tampa Bay 44.
Get ready, get set, get check. It's just that easy to sell your car with MorganBuysCars.com. First, visit MorganBuysCars.com and tell us a bit about your car. Next, receive an express cash offer online. Then, schedule an appointment at one of our 14 convenient locations to pick up your check. Plus, we'll beat anyone's offer on your vehicle or we'll give you $500. So, get ready, get set, and get checked. Online at MorganBuysCars.com.
Okay, someday you're gonna get your own room, I promise. Okay?
For the child you promised to give their own room. Let Union Home Mortgage be with you every step of the way and help you deliver on those promises. Union Home is here to help you through the challenges that go along with purchasing your first home, including options with little to no down payment. Go to UHM.com to get started today. Union Home Mortgage. Promises kept.
There is nothing like a good home opener. Rowdies fans reminding that to us again once more here in 2026. A 1-0 lead over the Riverhounds. Tampa Bay looks to start off strong once again. And half number 2. Thrilled you're with us tonight. Drew Felios alongside Jeff Atnella. Jeff, what do you see in that first half?
Well, I think it took both teams a little bit to build themselves into the game. A little bit strong defensively, getting numbers behind the ball. But then we saw the different opportunities where the ball got played in over the top, where it started to stretch the team a little bit. Teams were able to press, and that's exactly how the Rowdies were able to score that goal. Ball gets a little bit stretched. Rowdies are pressing. Cross comes in. Goal. Next thing you know, the dictate of the game changes. Now you got a 1-0 lead heading into half.
Yeah, the goal just absolutely perfect. Before that, though, Pittsburgh, again, doing what they do defensively.
They're doing a good job here, keeping everything in front of them. The goalkeeper doing a good job clearing the ball, making sure that he's coming off of his line. We saw the frustration here from the Rowdies, but again, set pieces are an emphasis for this group. They're able to create a couple different set pieces, but up until that goal, we really saw a Pittsburgh team that was very bend but don't break. Getting bodies in front of the ball. Rowdies wanted a handball on that shot, but ended up hitting the body. So really bend but don't break. But once this ball turns over here, it's that first ball in for Micheletto. Just a beautiful ball in between the two defenders. That ball turns over in the midfield. One ball out wide to Micheletto, picks his head up, able to find that space in between the two. Big Russ, take yourself a bow. The first goal of the regular season here at Al Lang Stadium comes off of a quick counterattack. Ball gets whipped out wide. Perfect placement of that outswinging ball. We get a look here at the stats. Shots on target. We know that the Rowdies have the one shot, but it really wasn't up until that point that any shots on goal for either team. So a lot of people keeping players in front of them, making sure that they're not getting many good looks in front of the box. But again, we look at the possession, 60-40. Rowdies did a very good job there early in the game sustaining that possession, but then Pittsburgh started to settle in a little bit. Now with that 1-0 lead, Pittsburgh's going to have to stretch themselves a little bit more. Maybe they start to play a little bit more direct, and this is the time when the Rowdies need to get themselves on top of the ball, settle in a little bit, and just keep that possession and make that Pittsburgh team work defensively.
Great stuff by Jeff Atnella, making his home debut also as the Rowdies analyst here in 2026. Thrilled to have Jeff and Deandra with us on Rowdies TV. Our crew also putting in a tremendous shift here from early today. Rowdies crew as good as it gets in USL Championship. We're thrilled to be back. Pittsburgh now has got to find a way to get back in this game. Playing on the road against A crowd right now that really is hungry for a victory. Going to be a tough challenge for this club here in the second half. Everybody into this match from the opening kick. I mean, it was intense. Dion Akoff doing his part. Charlie Ostrom right there, right next to him. Again, these new faces, we're still getting to know these guys. And this is really just a great group of young players the Rowdies have put together. They are younger, they are hungrier also than a year ago, according to their head coach, Dominic Casciato. Lots to prove, faring very well against MLS sides in the preseason, winning their opener up in Birmingham, and they are just getting started. So Coach Casciato, I really like his demeanor. You know, he doesn't say a lot, and sometimes when you're a media member, Jeff, that drives you crazy. But Casciato, he's just very calculating. He knows exactly what he wants. He knows the game, and he is certainly a player's coach.
He's also very detail-oriented as well. As a coach, you watch him, and you know that every single player knows where they're supposed to be during moments of the game. And it's not an over-managing type of standpoint. It's something that just making sure he's getting his ideas across. Everybody knows that he's a manager that wants to be on the front foot. He wants to press. But making sure that you're organized and making sure that you know where your teammates are going to be so that you can press is just as important as making sure that you get that initial wave of defense off. So just a very detail-oriented coach, a very determined coach, and a proven winner. He's won at different levels, and now he's here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies trying to prove his point here at this level as well. One of the things that I really like about Casciato is that as I've been able to spend more time with him is he really puts a big emphasis on making sure that people on this team understand the history of the Rowdies, but also being a coach that wants to make sure that it's not only about the history of the Rowdies, it's also about how can this specific group move this team forward. So he's done a good job of coming in, bringing in the type of players that he wants that fit his system, fit the style of play, fit what he wants to do, but also at the same time making sure that everybody understands that the legacy that the Rowdies are, and also having an understanding and appreciation for really what it means to represent this city, what it means to represent this soccer community, and what it means to put on this jersey.
And doing it during a World Cup year. You know, World Cup years, they just carry a little extra significance, a lot of extra attention on the sport, and especially because it is right here in North America.
Well, everybody's a soccer fan during the World Cup time, so if you're going to have success as a soccer team, doing it during the time when everybody's tuned in, that's definitely the best moment in time to do it.
If you haven't been to this stadium, you got to make the trek. Certainly worth it. Pittsburgh starts things off, moving now from left to right. So an early foul here, and Albert Dikwa, the number 9, he was basically silent and invisible in that first half. I'd love to get him a few touches. I know the visitors would here early on. So a pretty good spot here for the Hounds to start this second half. Jamali Waits, the guy we talked about a lot in the last few moments, is going to be put to the test here.
Well, we talk about the build-up play from this Pittsburgh team, their ability to use the ball wide, but sometimes route one to Dikwa is the best way to go. Big target forward like that, able to draw that foul. Now we have a dangerous set piece. Really the best opportunity that Pittsburgh's had in this game.
So Brian Schaefer right there forming the wall. Pedro Dolabella also, the number 8, wants him nice and close. Max Schneider on the other side of him. Obviously, you build a wall, you want it to be comprised of your tallest players. Sam Bassett, now right-footed. Oh, nearly tucked one away there. Had Waite scrambling there to his left, Jeff. Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath is right. It looked like he was going to be able to curve it into that near post there, but and that's the importance. You saw the way that Pedro Dolabella, if anybody's watching this, that once you get to know a little bit of how important it is to set that wall in the right spot, you saw how aggressive Dolabella was making sure his teammates were coming with him because Waite was trying to set that wall. You set that wall perfectly like that, it makes it very hard to bend the ball around, but Bassett definitely gave it a good go.
Now, there was one substitution for Pittsburgh. Number 8, Junior E2. He comes on. If that name sounds familiar, he's a former Rowdy. And Guillaume Vactor, his night is done. Remember, he was shaken up about midway through that first half. So Junior E2 is on the Frenchman for the Hounds. So this is Nate Dos Santos, the Canadian defender. Charlie Ostrom standing here just in front of that touchline. Ostrom will put it in motion in a really good spot. Hilton, front of the goal, can't put it in. Rebound, ricochets out one more time. Oh.
How this ball does not end up finding the back of the net, I am not sure. This defending from Pittsburgh, just last ditch. It's a great ball in. The cross comes in from the left back, Ostrom. Beautiful flicked on into space. But look at the goalkeeper, Campazano, here, doing a great job closing that space on that first initial touch, and then the defenders do a great job recovering for him as well. It's this effort here. It's that first touch, and then Campazano's able to close that space down, makes that big-time save, and then those Pittsburgh defenders are filling in behind him.
So what a sequence there for the Rowdies. Could have very easily doubled their lead.
And again, it comes off of a quick transitional turnover. The ball gets wide. Ostrom able to find that space in behind. Dangerous cross in. They had numbers in the box this time, but give that Pittsburgh goalkeeper and the defense credit for standing tall there. A lot of last-ditch defending there from the group in yellow.
Dos Santos, his first season as a Rowdy, into the center circle now. And the Rowdies building from the back. Max Schneider leaves it for Akoff. Akoff, step for step. E2 right there with him, taps it out. Tampa Bay will throw it in on that far corner.
And just another weapon that we're really not used to seeing from this Rowdies team is this long throwing that they have. Anytime the ball goes out here, it's just pretty much like a corner with the way the Schaefer's able to get that ball into the box. Maybe then get a runner to the near post, get a flick on.
So it will be a throw here, a few feet away from that corner. Brian Schaefer had a pretty good first half for the Rowdies. Tosses it in right to the middle of the box. It's fisted out. Akoff. And now this one will be sent out by Tampa Bay. Well, you can watch USL Championship and League One on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus as well. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings.
Dangerous balls are getting put in the box, but you have to give Campazano credit. Coming off of his line very strong throughout the course of the night.
The ball nice and high. Hounds again quick on the corners, on the counters rather, here tonight, as they always are. As this ball will settle out, Tampa Bay will now throw it in on that far side. And see some increased pressure here from the Hounds. And interesting to see how the Rowdies handle it. Souza and Edrach. Right now, the safety valves for Pittsburgh. Edrach, 17 appearances for his native Puerto Rico. Sends it in motion. Hilton gets a toe on it. Rowdies cannot collect. Pittsburgh at the controls once more. Edrach floats one into the box. And now Pittsburgh, dangerous. E2 trying to get to it before it gets to that end line, and the Rowdies will gather it back just in time. Crowd loving the effort once more of this new revamped squad. That time unable to control though, and Campazano will have a goal kick.
I think Ciserone didn't realize how much time he had on the ball. He had a lot of space in front of him, but again, I want to really stress how well the center backs for the Tampa Bay Rowdies have played so far tonight. Dico is a good forward who's very tough on the ball. It's very hard to win headers off of him. But both Dos Santos and Schaefer have come across, slid over, making sure that the number 9 is not getting comfortable.
Jamali Waite way off his line. A little bit of contact there. Akoff tries to send it down as well. Pittsburgh right there on the spot.
It's a moment. I understand what Waite's thinking there, trying to connect. Don't want to just dump the ball long, but that's a moment that he'd like to have back. Try to just put that ball in over the top.
Now ball awarded to the Hounds. Jars all. And E2 as well at the controls. There, take a look at Rob Vincent, first-year head coach. Right now, not liking what he is seeing. Tampa Bay applying pressure, being very opportunistic. Dolabella's got to go chase it. Hilton. Oh, beautiful pass. Sneaking one in. Rowdies take a shot. Oh, they went for that far post. Ciserone was there, Jeff. The ball just a little bit to his left.
Just a little bit. It's a good opportunity there. And Hilton really started this play a couple sequences ago as well. He wins that ball, gets it forward, and then that's when they're able to sustain that attacking pressure. Really a big difference maker has Hilton been tonight as he gets that ball here in this space. Simple slip through the ball, and Cruz picks his head up. I think Ciserone thought he was going to goal. Unfortunately, he's not able to crash that far post, but it's a good ball across the box from Cruz. But again, it's Hilton doing a lot of that dirty work in the midfield that's created these opportunities for his group.
Akoff again. Here's Lewis Hilton. Coach Casciato says, I've never seen anybody train day to day like Lewis Hilton.
He's just a pro's pro. Even just around the facility, the way he talks to people, the way he interacts with everybody.
So the Riverhounds trying to pick one up in the center circle. Akoff will wind up with it. Oh, he's taken down. That is a nasty takedown and should draw a yellow card. It will. First yellow of the game for the visiting side. And hopefully Akoff is okay. If you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. And you can hear live matches from the USL, the MLS, the Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Easy yellow call there for the referee. You see Akoff, he does a good job of just baiting this move in here. He lets that ball run across from him. I think E2 is stepping ready to try to confront him a little bit higher up that line. It's that quick turn of the body, that quick shift, and E2 is forced into a difficult situation where he draws that yellow card.
So junior E2, the former Rowdy, did not really thrive here in his stint with Tampa Bay. Sometimes certain organizations, Jeff, just don't really work out. He's back at Pittsburgh and really more comfortable there.
Well, that's life of a professional athlete. Sometimes you make a move, you make a change, maybe the system doesn't work, you're not as comfortable in the environment. That's just part of the nature of the beast of professional sports. And you know, anytime you see a player that bounces around a little bit, you want to have them in a comfortable spot. And you know, for A2, it seems like Pittsburgh is one of his more comfortable places to play.
So the Rowdies now have it. A goal up here, 58th minute. Beautiful night at Al Lang. Drew Felios with Jeff Attinella and Deandra Liu. Jamali Waite. Rowdies now playing a little keep away. Ostrom near side. Ciserone a little tied up, and we're going to award this to Pittsburgh.
Here's Dos Santos again. It might not look like much, but when you have a forward like Dico, you just got to be step for step with him everywhere he goes on the field. And we've seen that tonight for both the center backs. Doesn't matter what side he drifts to, whether it's Dos Santos, whether it's Schaefer. Just doing a good job making sure that they're step for step with him and nothing's coming easy.
Rowdies have it again here. Beto Edrock. Not seen a lot of substitutions thus far. Interesting to see the options in the remainder of this second half. Rowdies looking for daylight here, trying to get this one out of trouble. It's Micheletto again. He is fearless. Takes a shove. Are they going to award this to the Hounds again? I think they are.
The Rowdies are really going quick here when they get the ball. They're trying to get themselves forward as fast as they can once it wins and once it turns over. As this game starts, as the second half starts to settle down a little bit, I'd like to see if they can sustain a little bit more of that possession, give those forwards a little bit more time for them having to make these runs.
Now a takeoff. He goes down, tripped from behind. Charles All. Let's see if this one is worthy of a yellow.
It's just that shiftiness of Akoff. We saw it on the yellow card as well. That one could have easily been a yellow card. Ref decides to keep it in his pocket, but it's just that little shift. We saw it with the foul that drew the yellow card against E2. We saw it on this one as well. Now it's a dangerous spot, dangerous place for a free kick. The big bodies of the Rowdies are going to try to crash the box here. We saw what Micheletto did on that goal, his service, his ability to put the ball in a good spot. It all starts with that little bit of shiftiness from Akoff.
So Marco Micheletto, what a start to his season. A goal and an assist. Here for the Rowdies, he is on top of it. Here it comes towards the goal. Oh, deflects off the keeper. Right on the doorstep and hammered out just in time.
This second goal is just not finding the back of the net. Beautiful ball again from Micheletto. I think it was Schaefer who got on the end of that. Perfectly served ball in. Schaefer's able to find that space in between. Or apologies, that's Schneider. Max Schneider is able to find the end of it. Good save there from the goalkeeper, doing a good job getting himself across the box. Dolabella, unfortunately, not able to get that rebound. But it's the service from Micheletto that makes this possible.
And Dolabella nearly went head to post that time.
Pittsburgh just doing everything they can to keep the ball out of the back of the net here. 2 or 3 different chances here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, just cleared off the line from last-ditch defending.
Rowdies in full out attack mode. They get it forward. Micheletto, little chip, far side. Here come the Rowdies again. Ostrom, Hilton, trying to provide that finishing touch.
I think fans are starting to get a little bit more of a look at what the Rowdies can do offensively when they're comfortable. Getting the ball out wide, getting crosses into the box, creating havoc. Finding these players that can put these dangerous balls into dangerous areas. It's an exciting brand of soccer.
It looks like Junior E2, the player who just got the yellow, now is down himself, and the Rowdies assessed a yellow on their side. Suncoast Credit Union, more perks, less fees. Join Suncoast today as you take a look at the replay.
Yeah, it's that last little bit of leg action there from Micheletto that draws the yellow card. Nothing wrong with that initial challenge, but it's just that trail leg that ends up picking him up. Linesman was all over it there.
These fans have not sat down. Love that section. Also want to give a shout out. Mark Wilson of Fox 13 did a tremendous job with the national anthem on the air guitar in the pregame, Jeff. It was certainly a spectacle, wasn't it?
It was. It was a good job there. Had everybody fired up.
Now, what a legacy he has. Such a talented family. So excited to have them a part of our community. Micheletto chasing. Tampa Bay with a 1-goal lead. They've threatened a few times here in the second half. And for Pittsburgh, really no offense to speak of in this session just yet.
Just that early set piece was really their first opportunity, but now they're trying to be a little bit more possession oriented. It wouldn't surprise me if here at some point they decided to start dumping the ball into deep a little bit more, see if you could draw those fouls, at least trying to put the ball into a dangerous spot.
Rowdies now running. Here they come. Tampa Bay trying to squeeze it through to the end line. Little flick up in the air. A lot of work Ciserone did on that sequence. Man, you got to hand it to number 10.
All these chances. They're getting chances now. The goalkeeper's out of the net. Ciserone doing a good job. Takes on 2-3 players. Uses that speed. Draws himself around the goalkeeper. Just unable to find a white shirt in the box, but able to draw that corner kick. As we get another look at it here. Just using his speed. Look at these touches. Shifty right through the legs. right through the legs of the center back, able to get that touch around him. Goalkeeper lucky he wasn't fouled there as well. Just not able to find a white shirt at the far post.
So the good news, it sets up a Colony Grill corner kick for the Rowdies. And looks like Micheletto is going to be on top of it. There's Marco. Born in Rome, Italy. What a soccer journey he has had. Tormenta FC, Columbus Crew, New Mexico, Colorado. And now a stint with the Rowdies. And I'll tell you what, Jeff. Marco Micheletto, I remember him from back in those Tormenta days playing with Leland Archer. Those teams were awesome playing back in the old USL League One days, and Marco able to win a championship in Statesboro.
We spoke with him on the podcast about just his journey and just what it took for him to have the ability to get himself to this level. He's just a player that says he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He felt like he's had something to prove at every step of his career, and now that he's here with the Rowdies, he wants to prove that he belongs at this level and he's one of the better players. And you know, so far 2 games in the season, a goal and assist, I think he's done a good job.
This one sent in. Rowdies really controlling the tempo here thus far in the second half, as it is corralled by Campuzano.
It looks like here in the second half that they've pushed Micheletto to play a little bit higher. Seems like Ciserone and Cruz have dropped themselves a little bit deeper into a little bit more of a midfield spot as opposed to being wide wingers. Micheletto stepped up. So a bit of a tactical shift here that we've seen from the Rowdies in the second half.
Coach Casciato is going to go to his bench here for the first time. A big line change about to happen, really, for both teams. Going to get a couple players in. And for Tampa Bay, it's going to be MD Myers, number 9, and number 13, Luis Perez, entering the fray. Sebastian Cruz looks like his night is done, and Dion Akoff will also go to the bench.
MD Myers, one of the biggest signings that we've seen in the USL this year. Able to get himself back in the lineup, was dealing a little bit of a health injury in the first game of the season, but you talk about a forward who's proved himself at this level, who knows what it is to score. One of the biggest signings that the Rowdies have had in the offseason, and that's saying a lot with all the big players that they've brought in. Rowdies fans should be ecstatic to see him wearing the hoops and also being on the field here tonight. It looks like Micheletto and Akoff's night are done. Good bit of effort there for those two.
Yes, it will be Micheletto going to the bench. Soccer season is here. SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Rowdies on the move once more. Myers, a little bit heavy-footed that time. Tampa Bay not taking their foot off the gas pedal. As you see, Luis Perez trying to get involved in the fray.
MD Myers is going to be a little bit more of that traditional number 9, where Pedro Della Bella, he's someone that can play a lot of different positions, maybe a little bit more shifty on the ball. Myers is someone that you can get the ball to, you can get the hold-up play. He finds himself in spaces in the box. He's able to put the ball into the back of the net. Just a proven goal scorer in this league. Excited to see him out on the field for the first time this season.
So, Jeff, little perspective here. If you are the Rowdies, you're at home, you got a 1-goal lead. Do you continue to attack, attack, attack?
Attack, 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 cautiously.
Yes.
I think that you want to stay on the front foot here, but you have to make sure you're organized defensively.
Left-footed cross that time. Comes down. Rowdies again threatening. Little header this time. It's just over the crossbar. Oh, so many good ideas the Rowdies have had here in the last few minutes. Myers, the number 9, involved.
Well, we're talking about touches in the box. That's something that the Rowdies really value. We've seen tons of touches in the box here in the second half. Opportunities where the goalkeeper's coming out and making big saves. Defense is clearing the line. But again, you see MD Myers here making the difference already. It's a cheeky little ball in. He's able to make that run off the center back's back shoulder. Find that space between, almost directed on frame. But to your point, I think that you want to keep your foot on the gas. I think that they do have Pittsburgh reeling a little bit. We've seen the different opportunities. There's no reason that the Rowdies shouldn't have 2 or 3 other goals, except for some last-ditch efforts from the Pittsburgh defense clearing the lines. So you want to keep your foot on the gas, try to get that second goal, but at the same time, just making sure that you're very organized defensively, because you don't want to throw up too many numbers, because you know that Pittsburgh's going to get desperate here in a little bit and start lumping the ball a little bit further. So you just don't want to get caught off guard in that. But I would definitely keep pressing and try to get that second goal.
So Coach Vincent grew up in England, went to the University of Charleston, was a great player back in his day, but you never want to be the coach to take over for the legend. He has the opportunity to do that for Bob Lilly. Rowdies now right back to work again, creating havoc, getting into that final third. Campuzano jumping on it just in time.
The finishing touches haven't been there just yet, but you're seeing the opportunities that the Rowdies are creating when they're comfortable offensively. It took a while for them to get into that rhythm, but everybody talks about how goals change games. You can tell what that goal did to the momentum of this game. You can tell what that goal did to uplift the Rowdies group. And now you're seeing a team that's getting themselves in the box, getting themselves in dangerous areas. We'd love to see that second goal go in, give themselves a little bit of breathing room.
This ball skating in on the ground here, Tampa Bay. Right now the feel is they are in control, but again, as Jeff said, look out. You don't want to commit too much forward, especially when this number 9 is on the ball. It's Dikwa trying to send it in. Rowdies hammer it out. Tampa Bay well aware of what the number 9 is capable of.
That's great work from Cruz. Cruz is playing up higher now. He's dropped back to that right back position. Recognizes the danger, gets himself into that middle spot, able to clear the line.
Ralph's mob right now, and they are fun to watch and fun to listen to on the Rowdy side. Just creating the environment, the atmosphere of this team is feeding off of it right now.
What's fun about that group is there's a couple different supporters groups down there, and they all come together for this. You have Ralph Mob, you have the Skyway Casuals, just a lot of fans that appreciate the Rowdies coming together and enjoying this home opener.
Sam Bassett, so smooth with the ball at his feet, and just as I say that, the ball skates out, and the Rowdies will have it in their half. Kemper Auto knows your journey, and they will help you along the way. They are affordable, they are personalized. Kemper auto insurance you can count on. Get a quote today at Kemper.com. Pittsburgh trying to get it in position once more. There's Dikwa. You see him kind of reading it, but not a chance to get the cross in. We'll have a corner on that far side as Elliot Goldthorpe heads over there for the house.
And these are the moments that Pittsburgh really wants to capitalize. They haven't had much joy here in the second half with possession or anything really outside of set pieces. Defensively, the Rowdies really need to be switched on here. You know that this is what Pittsburgh is looking for.
Another Colony Grill corner kick on the way. Rowdies defending. 71st minute and a 1-goal lead. Great curl on it. Jamali Wade. Oh, how nice was that? He just attacked that ball out of the air.
And the first bit of action he's really had to do with his hands tonight, so that's confident goalkeeping in the 70th minute after not having to do too much.
So now the Hounds. Number 3, Perrin Barnes. He has it right now. Barnes finding some real estate. Albert Dikwa able to get a touch to it. E2 wanted a foul, didn't get it. Here's another cross. This one far post. You have to scramble to get it again. What Dikwa, just quick as a cat, just gets to the other side of the field, no problem.
And they're doing a good job. Pittsburgh is recycling these possessions. The cross comes in, goes over the top.
Looking for that finishing touch here again, far post, and struck just over the crossbar. Rowdy's a little bit fortunate that time. That ball was not headed straight on.
Anytime you see an attacking player able to come over the back of the defender as they're backing up, you know it's going to spell a little bit of trouble. Fortunately for the Rowdies, it doesn't make its way to the back of the net, but you have to give Pittsburgh credit. They weren't doing too much. They get that corner kick, and then from there they haven't lost possession. They're able to sustain that possession, move the ball from side to side, be a little bit patient. Cross comes in, regather the possession, and then create themselves an opportunity.
So Nate Dos Santos and Tampa Bay. See Pittsburgh really turning up the heat on the pressure. Tampa Bay will simply connect dots here. make the Hounds chase. When you're on the road in an environment like this, and this is the third straight road game that you have played, I'm telling you, 1-0 can feel like 3-0. Rowdies trying to get it behind, and that time sent behind the goal literally, as Pittsburgh will have it here in the 74th.
Rowdies very slow, very monotonous in that build-up, and end up finding themselves in a dangerous spot. And especially at this juncture in the game, you don't want to force anything. You don't want to be too direct with anything if you're the Tampa Bay Rowdies. So if you have those opportunities to kill 2-3 minutes with the ball, move that ball from side to side, be patient, wait for those overlapping runs. Just unfortunately in that situation for the Rowdies, the cross doesn't come off for Cruz.
Tampa Bay comes down with it. A little bit of traffic here. Sent out nicely to Ciserone. Ciserone gets it back. Well done by Tampa Bay. This one sent on right to the keeper. Campusano in place.
Just not able to get his foot around it as much as he wanted to. There's a runner going far post. Just a little bit too driven.
So now it's the 19. Bassett once more. Trying to get his team back in this game. Just takes one goal to do it here for the Hounds. But again, another opportunity doesn't have their preferred conclusion.
Just not on the same page there. Timing was a little bit off, but if you're the Rowdies, that's what you want to try to prevent. You see a player like Bassett who's able to pick that ball up in the middle, break lines just with a couple dribbles, try to find that space in between, gets the ball out wide. The Rowdies have done such a good job of closing off that midfield space against Pittsburgh tonight. But you see how quickly a good player, if they pick up the ball, if they're able to turn, if they're able to drive, next thing you know, you're defending there in your box.
Launched up again by Jamali Waite. Successful debut up to this point for the Rowdies. Remember, Tampa Bay hosts again next week. They'll be right here at Al Lang as Loudoun United comes to town. Charlie Ostrom tosses it in here for the Rowdies. Look out, Tampa Bay with some space. Luis Perez, and he launches that one out of the stadium.
You don't mind the shot from the substitute. I'd like to see it obviously get on frame a little bit, leaning a little bit too far back, maybe too excited to get that shot off, but about 24, 25 yards out. You put that on contact, you put that on frame, nobody's going to be upset with you.
Tampa Bay takes it away with ease. Ciserone just turns and goes. Tampa Bay numbers forward here in the 77th. The open goal and scored! M.D. Myers doubles the Rowdies lead.
Well, we just talked about him. What M.D. Myers means to this team. He's a proven goal scorer in this league, getting the crowd fired up. First half of the season, able to find the back of the net. But this all starts with Russell Ciserone. He has a goal and assist on the night. He picks his head up in the middle of the field, finds nothing but space, and it's a perfectly weighted ball to M.D. Myers. Running full speed ahead, M.D. Myers just one time right over the goalkeeper. Campusano drops himself down, tries to block the low shot. Not a problem for M.D. Myers as he chips it right over the goalkeeper's head off that one touch. Great run off the back shoulder. He loves the back shoulder run. Ciserone, another big time signing, goal and an assist on the year. Just a brilliant run for the middle. And what I loved about that Ciserone run is he gets the ball in the middle field, he turns, and there's nothing but space in front of him, and he takes advantage of every ounce of space, draws that defender, leaves that gap for Emdy Myers to run behind. And a forward like Emdy Myers, we talked about him when he got subbed in. He leaves absolutely no doubt. And there's that second goal the Rowdies have been chasing this entire half.
So the 2 Rowdies goals tonight, they have been gorgeous goals. Russell Ciserone and Emdy Myers, the 10 and the 9, cashing in here in the home opener. Looking at that play, Jeff, again, do you think Campuzano was justified coming off his line as far as he did?
You have to close the space. So anytime that there's a 1v1 like that, maybe he had a little bit of help with the defender, so he could have stayed a little bit put and forced Myers a little bit wide. But he's had a lot of success coming off of his line tonight and doing exactly what he just did. So one of those judgment calls when you're in the moment. Of course, if you give up the goal, you look at it a different way. And if he makes that save, he's saying he did a good job coming off his line. But for me, I think it's the recognition of Emdy Myers that really makes a difference. He sees that Campuzano's going down, and then he picks his head up, and it's all in one touch. Mid-stride, one-touch finish there for Emdy Myers, and that's exactly what the Rowdies were looking for when they signed him in the offseason.
Yeah, this guy was a second-team All-USL last year. Had 15 goals and 4 assists in the regular season for Charleston. 3 great years also at High Point University. You know, if he's a basketball fan, you got to love what they did this weekend, advancing in the NCAA tournament. Just a tremendous win. Big upset. I believe that was over Wisconsin.
Maybe it's just giving him a little extra juice. There's that one player who scored his first 2-point bucket of the season at the end of the game for that, in that one. But just a massive second goal for this Rowdies group. They've been pressing this entire second half. And you have to give Pittsburgh credit. I really do give Pittsburgh a lot of credit for bending but not breaking for as long as they did. But you can see how quick this Rowdies group can strike on the first goal and the second goal. Just 2 different situations where the ball gets picked up in the midfield. They're able to find a little bit of space. And next thing you know, they're in on your net.
Tampa Bay with it. Pittsburgh now scrapping, trying to just get a goal at least. Cut the Rowdy lead in half. Tampa Bay so stingy tonight at home. Ciserone. And the Rowdies right now looking in control. Going down here is Dolabella. And the Rowdies will get the call. The official mortgage partner of the Rowdies is Union Home Mortgages. Union Home Mortgage, your partner from first homes to refinancing. Get started with UHM today and visit UHM.com to learn more. And yes, Jeff, it was High Point over Wisconsin, a 12 seed over a 5 seed. That match was on Thursday, 83-82. I'm telling you, my brackets are completely busted again.
That means they're playing tonight. I wonder how they're doing tonight.
Oh, man. Charlie Ostrom with Lewis Hilton. Hilton has just put in an awesome shift here in the home opener. Just hope he stays healthy if you're a Rowdies fan. Here he is with it.
Well, defensively, of course, all the talk is going to be on the goal scorers. Ciserone with a goal and an assist tonight. Marco Micheletto goal and assist on the season. Emdy Myers coming in and scoring his goal, but we have to talk about the work that the Rowdies have done defensively. The center backs, Hilton, they're doing such a good job of controlling the middle. Ostrom on that left side. You haven't heard much from this right side of the Pittsburgh attack tonight. That's because Ostrom's doing a good job keeping everything in front of him. Akoff, of course, what he's done offensively, but you talk about what this group's done defensively as well. There were a couple moments there, a couple nervy moments, but besides that, it's just been very clean, very composed, everybody very organized and on the same page.
Trying to get it back to Dolabella. Rowdies will get Ciserone involved again. Tampa Bay not satisfied with a 2-0 advantage. Perez going down. Wanted the foul, no call. We play on here in the 83rd minute.
Tough to tell if there was contact. It looked like Perez might have been dribbling a little bit further away, kind of trying to find that contact, but it was tough to tell if there was actually feet tripped him up.
Jackson Walty in the game, midfielder out of St. Augustine, somewhat of a homecoming from number 42 here tonight. It's nice to be back in the Sunshine State, especially in the month of March. Hilton tries to redirect, and Walty right there touches again for the Hounds. Jackson Walty operating on the far side. Rowdies able to get the deflection, and it's Lewis Hilton again. This time could not find his teammate, so a ball that will belong to the visitors. But Lewis just doing Lewis Hilton things in this match. Wear the captain's armband too. That's nice to see.
Well, he's one of the leaders. He's one of the people that's been on this club. He understands what it means to be a Tampa Bay Rowdy. And tonight he's just been up to the task. One of the emphasis that Pittsburgh has, I've spoken on it already, but cutting the ball through the middle of the field. And Hilton has not allowed them to do much of that. And then on the other side as well, he's done a good job flipping the attack, spraying those balls. His pinpoint accuracy on his outlet passes just makes such a big difference.
Max Vieira on top of it now for Pittsburgh. Campuzano launches. Rowdies again there. Max Schneider. Big number 14, Carson Hinderlong in the game for the Rowdies out of Crown Point, Indiana. Another first-year player with this club.
Speaking of basketball, there's rumors going around that he was a 3- or 4-star basketball recruit out of high school. Yeah, we're gonna have to dive into that one.
There you go. Lewis Hilton giving chase. And the Rowdies, once again, threatened by the Hounds offense, but Jamali right there to douse the flame one more time. So, Jeff, from what I understand, Rowdies still protecting this lead. You have a podcast now, a new podcast. Tell Rowdies fans about it.
The Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast. We're releasing it this year. It's something that we want to do for Rowdies fans to bring them a little bit closer to the action, get to know these players a little bit more.
This ball launched. Oh, it's got a chance. Campuzano going back, and that would have been maybe the goal of the year.
Whoa. As we're trying to talk about the podcast, we just almost witnessed something very special. But give Campuzano a lot of credit as well to backpedal like this and make the save. But off the one touch, does a good job scrambling, keeping his eye on the ball as well. It looked like a little bit wide, but you're really not sure where you're going when you're scrambling backwards like that. But yeah, if you want to get to know the players a little bit more, we're having a little bit of fun with it. You know, it's not a strictly, break down the games type of podcast, but it's a fun lifestyle. Get to know the players a little bit more, get to know a little bit more about the team. We'll have talks with the coaches. And that's the Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast for anybody that wants to tune in.
Another Colony Grove corner kick on the way. Rowdies trying to make this a 3-0 game. Top of the box now. Rowdies so feisty here tonight. Sebastian Cruz once more able to keep it for his club. Luis Perez also 13. The guy who nearly scored that miracle goal just moments ago. Really playing well here at the moment. Lewis Hilton, he'll launch it, and this one will missile right over the crossbar. So Jeff, now tell me, this may be a dumb question, but just go to Apple or just go to like search Podcast and type in Tampa Bay Rowdies and it comes up, does it?
Yeah, Tampa Bay Rowdies podcast, Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can find it. We're putting it up on our YouTube channel as well, so we have video, we have the audio, everything you're going to need to know about the Rowdies and soccer in the Tampa Bay area, getting to know the players a little bit, and we're just having fun with it. So episodes aren't too long, so tune in on your morning commute, maybe your drive home, get to know this team a little bit more.
Yeah, great stuff, can't wait. Getting closer to the finish line here. Rowdies have entertained this crowd here tonight. Not an extremely high-scoring game, but just lots of quality and just sensational defense by the home side.
Talk about the chances as well. If not for some big saves from Campuzano, some goal line clearances from the Pittsburgh defense, we're looking at a 3 or 4-0 game right now.
That last sequence right there, where Pittsburgh just kind of looked at each other, that's when you know you're the Rowdies. You've done your job tonight.
You have to speak volumes of what that first goal meant for the Rowdies as well, because you could tell that after they scored that goal, the nerves settled down a little bit. Now they're playing a little bit more of their brand of soccer. They want to be on top of the ball. They want to smother you. We talked about the way that Coach Dominic Cassiano wanted to play. We talked about it in the open. This group had an entire preseason together. This is exactly how he wants it to look. Organized defensively, on the front foot offensively, and press it, making sure that Pittsburgh never gets comfortable. So you're getting a good look here in the second half of what he wants his team to look like throughout the course of the season.
Rowdies once again moving it into the Pittsburgh half. Hilton. This renewed vigor and renewed life we have seen in number 4's legs here in front of the home fans. As the ball skates out, and it'll be out of bounds here belonging to Pittsburgh. Because when you think about it, Jeff, those great years, 2020, 2021, 2022, Rowdies getting all the way to the championship. There's only one guy that remains from those clubs, and it is Lewis Hilton.
Well, I think that that's one of the things that is really important with this group is that they understand that they want to put the Rowdies back on top of the table, and that's something that we talked about with Marco Micheletto. We sat down with him, and that's the common goal for this group. They want to do whatever it takes for the team to win, whether it's an individual who has to sacrifice a little bit more for somebody else, whether it's players on the field, whether it's players on the bench. The group that has come together is a group that wanted to be a Tampa Bay Rowdy, and they understand what it takes to play for this club and for this organization and get the team back to where they wanted to be.
Technically, there is one other guy in Lawrence White, but he did depart the club twice before returning to the Rowdies. I've not seen White tonight. He is available. Certainly a guy that can come in and give you a spark.
There's players as well. You haven't seen Evan Conway yet. Oh, yep. There it is. Just as I was about to speak on it, this is a big-time signing for the Rowdies as well. Another proven goal scorer in this league, somebody that fans should be excited about. He was dealing with a little bit of injury towards the end of preseason. That's why we haven't seen him as much. But just a player that should be very excited about as well. When you talk about Emily Myers, Russell Ciserone coming off the field, Marco Micheletto, Evan Conway getting his first look in this uniform. He's somebody that's going to put the ball in the back of the net for the Tampa Bay Rowdies this year as well. So a lot of players, a lot of things to be excited about early in this season.
Ciserone heading off. That's got to be a great feeling, knowing you've done your job. Hand it over to your teammate, give him a chance to get on the pitch. And now 4 minutes of extra time remains. Rowdies looking to put the finishing touches on their home opener. So a team known for their defense in Pittsburgh, tonight the Rowdies have out-defended the Hounds, safe to say. At least up to this point. Enderlong tried to turn, had it knocked away. The Rowdies will get it back one more time. Again, just hustling to the ball, beating the visitors to just about every 50-50. Ostrom now trying to switch the point of attack. Luis Perez under it. It's Perez. Junior E2 able to take it away. Enderlong in traffic. Look at the big man operate. Nifty footwork that time. Got a breakout year with FC Naples. Rowdies have had some action with them. Coaches took notice, and here he is. Little contact, and Pittsburgh will get it back. Certainly like the way I think Coach Casciato has noticed teams that the Rowdies have faced off against in the past year, and guys that have excelled against the Rowdies, when they've become available, he has been quick to scoop them up.
A lot of the emphasis in this offseason was just the ability to turn the roster over, because I think that towards the end of last season there were signs that it might have been time to refresh the group, bring some new players in, bring some new energy, and that's exactly what they did. We talked about all the different signings that they've had. And the head coach was a huge part of the players that they were able to pick up. A lot of players that we've spoken to came to this club to play for the head coach, but also at the same time, you talk about being able to handpick players that are fit your system, that play the way you want to play, that have the type of mentality that you want them to have. It's got to be a good feeling for any coach when they're able to do that when they're talking about assembling a roster to put together for a season.
So another collision there. Brian Schaefer going down. Ball was airborne. We're going to get a yellow card, though. Trevor Eamon, rather, the forward, collided with him that time. I don't think any ill intent. Eamon coming off the bench for the Hounds tonight. So a little over a minute left. And Do you think it's too early to say, are the Rowdies back? Jeff Atnell.
2 games in. I do think that we're seeing good trends, though. I think that you're seeing a team that's willing to fight for one another. And I think that you're seeing flashes of how good they could be offensively. But for me, of course, early in the season, you want to have your defensive side of the ball figured out, and they've done a good job of that so far. There will be tougher tests.
Look at this connection. Once again, it's MD Myers. Already scored a goal. Rowdies want one more. Myers on the ground. It's scored! Why not make it the hat trick? Evan Conway in on the act.
Right on cue, we talked about the substitutes that were coming into this game and how big of signings they were for this Tampa Bay Rowdies group. And both of them were able to find the score sheet in the second half alone. First, it was MD Myers, who had his hand on this goal, finding himself on that sideline, getting that cross into the box. We'll take a look at it here. Cross comes in here from MD Myers, picks his head up, and then it's Evan Conway, the recipient, the substitute that comes on. Another big-time signing for this group. Easy ball across the box, sliding finish from Conway. Maybe his first or second touch of the entire game. Able to find the back of the net as the late substitute. Oh, it looks like it took a bit of a deflection off the Pittsburgh defender. It's that deflection there that redirects to the side netting, but I think that was deserved for the Rowdies for all the goal line blocks they had. And it looks like that'll do it for the group.
That is going to do it. The Tampa Bay Rowdies, they don't stop until the final whistle blows. Coach Casciato, an impressive performance from his club in the home opener. 3-0 the final. Can't remember the last time Tampa Bay put it on Pittsburgh like they did tonight. So what a home opener it was, and our post-game show just around the corner from a jubilant Al Lang after this.
When we see you, we see ourselves. So the care you receive is exactly the kind of care we would want.
Great news. They're gonna be fine. They're all good.
Orlando Health, we make it personal.
Get ready, get set, get check. It's just that easy to sell your car with MorganBuysCars.com. First, visit MorganBuysCars.com and tell us a bit about your car. Next, receive an express cash offer online. Then, schedule an appointment at one of our 14 convenient locations to pick up your check. Plus, we'll beat anyone's offer on your vehicle, or we'll give you $500. So, get ready, get set, and get checked. Online at MorganBuysCars.com.
Okay, someday you're gonna get your own room, I promise. Okay?
For the child you promised to give their own room, let Union Home Mortgage be with you every step of the way and help you deliver on those promises. Union Home is here to help you through the challenges that go along with purchasing your first home, including options with little to no down payment. Go to UHM.com to get started today. Union Home Mortgage. Promises kept.
Well, it's a happy home stadium here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies as Al Lang fouls out. 3-0 the final score. Drew Felios and Jeff Atnella. Jeff, that was impressive from start to finish.
It was a good performance for the Rowdies, and of course everybody's going to look at the 3-0 scorecard. Evan Conway, MD Myers, Russell Ciserone, the big three that they signed in the offseason. But how about the job they did defensively, limiting this Pittsburgh group who had been scoring goals to not many chances. It's just an overall solid performance at home. Give the fans really something to cheer about tonight.
Yeah, Russell Ciserone, he was sensational. Right now he is standing by with our DeAndre.
Russell, a goal and an assist for you tonight. What stood out most about your team's performance?
Yeah, I think the resilience. I think we didn't start that first half very well. I think we were a little sloppy, misplaced a few passes. We were lucky we scored a good goal at the end of the first half, but we came out in the second half, a lot of energy, played our game, and great result, 3-0 in the end.
There's a lot of new players on this roster this year. How did you feel the chemistry was throughout the game?
Yeah, I think it's good because we've had a long preseason. We've had a strong preseason. But, I mean, it's always going to keep growing throughout the season. The season's long, but I thought it was good. It's still going to keep growing.
2-0 to start the season. How do you build on this heading into next week?
Yeah, I think we just take it week by week. All our preparation stays the same. We work on us. We know about our opponent, but for the most part, we focus on us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, good stuff. Russell Ciserone, what a dynamic goal that was. I mean, the Rowdies just did not look back. It was served in by Micheletto.
And the timing of that goal meant everything. Russell Ciserone just talked about it. We've been calling him Big Russ on the podcast, so we're going to move it over to the TV as well. But Big Russ was talking about it. He said that he was able to find that space at the end of the first half. They didn't play the way that they wanted to, but goals change games. And it's that ball that gets picked up in the midfield, out wide to Micheletto. And look at that finish from Ciserone. He's able to redirect it, tuck it into that far post. Goalkeeper stood absolutely no chance, and you can tell that that was the momentum swinger that this group needed. And again, here he is again, picking the ball up in the midfield behind his own half, picks his head up, perfectly timed pass ball to MD Myers, a substitute who came in, and it's this run from MD Myers as well. He's able to find this gap in between the center backs and that cheeky little finish. This is why you bring a player like this to your group. He's able to put the ball into the back of the net, even he only needs one touch, full sprint, doesn't even matter. And that starts off with the ball getting picked up from Cicerone in the midfield. And we talk about substitutes making a big difference and the signings making a big difference. It's MD Myers picks his head up and then he finds it to Evan Conway, the substitute who just came on, getting his first minutes for the Rowdies. Another player that they're going to be looking to scoring a lot of goals this season. And he gets a little bit of luck here with the redirect from the Pittsburgh defender. But I think that's one of the things where the ball doesn't lie, because there were so many goals that were blocked off the goal line from those defenders. It was about time that one went the Rowdies' way. So a big time night for the big three signings up top: Cicerone, MD Myers, and Evan Conway. And you talk about the work that the Rowdies did defensively. No shots on target for this Pittsburgh group, and that just speaks volumes to what they were doing in front of the Jamali Waite.
Yeah, Tampa Bay took Pittsburgh's winning formula, which is defense, and turned it around on them here tonight. Rowdies very impressive and opportunistic. The goals were sensational. Again, you look at the shots, 17-2. I mean, that's not just winning, that's dominating.
It was a dominating performance tonight for the Rowdies, but they said it, the first half it was a little bit sloppy. They took a little bit of time for them to settle in, but once they settled in, you got a great look at what this Rowdies team is all about. Attacking fast, playing strong defensively, and putting the ball into dangerous areas and letting their good players get the ball into the back of the net. A great show for everybody that showed up to Al Lang tonight, and a great start to the season for this new look, newly assembled Tampa Bay Rowdies group.
Upcoming schedule brought to you by Orlando Health. And the Rowdies will return here to the friendly confines of Al Lang Stadium next week, and then head on the road, but not far, to Sporting Jacksonville. Coming back home to Oakland Roots, and then the Charleston Battery away. Sarasota Paradise. Got some new names, new teams the Rowdies are going to be facing off with in 2026.
And they're going to be taking everything one game at a time. We have a Latin group that's coming in. It's a good team. They're going to try to find themselves up the Eastern standings as well. But every single week, game by game, the Rowdies, that's going to be the approach for the team this year. But it is fun to see different teams. Sporting Jacks, it'll be fun to see them for the first time. Sarasota Paradise, a team that the Rowdies played in preseason that a few of us are familiar with. So it's a fun, new, exciting season, and we're off to a great start.
Yeah, we certainly are. That was a thrill ride. Rowdies fans certainly deserve it. 2026 off to a perfect 2-0 start, a 3-0 win over Pittsburgh. For Jeff Attinella, for Deandra Lou, for our tremendous Tampa Bay Rowdies television crew, I'm Drew Fellio saying so long and have a great rest of your weekend. Rowdies win.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.
That's very special, but you can do a lot better as well. Backpedal like